In 1904, a woman who wasn't legally allowed to vote or open a bank account without a husband became the most powerful lender in Ohio. She was a former brothel madam who bankrupted a national banking system using nothing but a rumor. This is not a prop. It is a solid gold pipe organ. It sits in a living room on Millionaires Row in Cleveland. It screams, "I have so much money, I don't know what to do with it." She stole the modern equivalent of $65 million. She didn't use a gun. She didn't use a mask. She hacked the Victorian Operating System by exploiting the one vulnerability bankers couldn't patch: their own politeness. This is false prophets, where the biggest crimes weren't committed with guns, but with paper, promises, and belief. Meet Elizabeth Bigley, born on a farm in rural Ontario. She wasn't a financial genius, she was a survivor. By age 22, she had already been arrested for forgery, but released on the grounds of insanity, because the court couldn't believe a young woman could be a criminal mastermind. She didn't have a pedigree, but she discovered a zero-day exploit in Victorian society: the gentleman's code. She realized that wealthy men in the Gilded Age were terrified of impropriety. If you hinted at a scandal involving a powerful man, no one would dare ask him for confirmation. It was considered too rude. The con goes live in New York City. She hires a lawyer named Dylan. She asks him to wait in a carriage outside a mansion on Fifth Avenue, Andrew Carnegie's mansion. She walks inside, pretending to check a maid's reference, and stays for 30 minutes. When she returns to the carriage, she accidentally drops a brown paper envelope. Dylan picks it up. He sees a promissory note for $2 million, signed by Andrew Carnegie. She swears him to secrecy, claiming she is Carnegie's illegitimate daughter. By swearing him to silence, she guaranteed he would tell everyone in the Cleveland financial district. Cassie never tried to cash the fake Carnegie notes. That would trigger a verification. Instead, she used them as collateral. She told bankers, "I have $5 million in securities in your vault. I need a loan. If you don't believe me, open the envelope. But if you do, you betray Mr. Carnegie's trust." The bankers looked at the label and approved the loans. With unlimited credit, she went on a spending spree that rivals the Wolf of Wall Street. She bought 8 grand pianos and gave them away as gifts. She bought diamond necklaces by the trayful, simply to maximize the visual glare of her wealth. She corrupted Charles Beckwith, the president of the Citizens National Bank. He didn't just lend the bank's money, he lent her his own personal fortune. She had him so twisted that she began signing banknotes herself. The scheme lasted 8 years, until Herbert Newton, a banker from Boston, an outsider. He wasn't part of the Cleveland Gentlemen's Club. He didn't care about Carnegie's reputation. He loaned her $190,000. When she didn't pay, he sued. The trial of the century, Cleveland, 1905. Andrew Carnegie walks into the courtroom. The prosecution hands him the promissory notes that held up the entire Ohio banking system. Carnegie puts on his glasses, looks at the notes, and laughs. He points out that the notes are riddled with spelling errors. He says, "I have not signed a note in the last 30 years. The millions were just bad photocopies of a lie." The police found her at the Hotel Breslin in New York. She wasn't running, she was in bed. When they searched her, they found she was wearing a money belt containing over $100,000 in cash. Even at the end, she didn't trust the banks. She kept the cash on her body. The Citizens National Bank of Oberlin collapsed immediately, wiping out the life savings of the town's college professors and shopkeepers. Cassie Chadwick proved that money is just a shared hallucination. She didn't steal the money, Bankers gave it to her because they wanted to believe the story. She understood that if you look rich enough, the world will pay you to stay that way. They say numbers don't lie, but in the hands of the right man, they can tell any story you want to hear. If you want to see how easily the world can be fooled, hit the subscribe button. This is False Prophets. Trust no one.